Today, I'm going to share with you step-by-step plan how you can read a book in 30 days. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So let's answer the question of why I'm making this video about reading more books or finishing a book in 30 days. Well, I've been into reading books for my whole life, basically, whether I had to read them at school or just for my own leisure and entertainment. And I used to read maybe, 2 books a year. But quite recently, I made a New Year's resolution that I wanted to read more books, and I've decided to read 1 book a month. And I thought, well, if I manage to read 12 books in 1 year, imagine how much I'm going to learn. And actually, this habit quite unnoticeably started penetrating my life back in October. I was in kind of big crisis mode. I was living in my student apartment, which I had to leave, and I knew that living in Amsterdam, I could never find something as affordable as my student apartment. So I knew I had to learn a thing or two about money. And me being the kind of person who's not so much into finances, found it a little bit boring. But hey, I found a book that spoke to me called Millennial. I read it in 1 month and I learned the tools to manage my finances and started budgeting. After Millennial, I read a book by Marie Kondo, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, because I was about to move and I knew I had to minimize my belongings to make the move as comfortable as possible. I was inspired to declutter my stuff and live with more intention. And let me tell you, my move was so easy, it went so fluently, and I didn't have to spend so much money on it, which was like a big rock off of my chest. Because moving ain't fun. And when I was down back in December because of the second lockdown, I read You Are a Badass, which inspired me to find other ways to express myself. It boosted my confidence and it motivated me to do something that I've always wanted to do, share content. And this is probably one of the reasons why I've started my YouTube channel, and I've started seeing this very interesting pattern that I've never witnessed before in my life, that whenever I had a problem, I didn't avoid it and I tried solving it by reaching out for a book that could possibly answer some questions and help me deal with whatever issue I was having in my life. If I was anxious about my financial life, I read a book about finances. If I was anxious about moving and having too much stuff to move with, I read on how to declutter. And I think we all know that books can improve your knowledge. That's no-brainer, but I don't know, it didn't click until I actually experienced this real benefit of reading books. And as the new year was approaching, this YouTube video was recommended to me. The title is something like I've read 1 book a week for 4 years. And of course I watched it because I thought it's an absolutely ridiculous idea of doing that ever. And when I read it, I thought, well, maybe I could do it. Maybe I could do 2 books a month. And when I've started reading a book with the end goal being that I have to read 2 books in 1 month, I realized that I was really rushing through reading the book without actually enjoying it. So I told myself, okay, I'm gonna start with 1 book a month because that seemed like the most realistic way to approach this new hobby. And I thought, hey, why not challenge you to read a book in 30 days? And you know what? You can hold me accountable. You can write in the comments below what book you're planning to read. And if you're struggling, you can always reach out. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to answer your comment because I only have 25 subscribers. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, please subscribe. This will help me and my channel. And don't forget the like button. So you might ask yourself, but how do I read a book in 30 days? Glad you asked, because I have a step-by-step plan where I'm going to explain how you can finish a book in 30 days. So first, you're gonna need to find a book. Make sure it's also a book that you've been wanting to read or your friends recommended, or maybe you have some sort of issue right now in your life, like I did, and try to find a book that might help you solve that problem. Once you've picked your book, check how many pages there are. For example, my book has 240 pages, and I'm going to divide that number by 4 because approximately I will know how many pages I have to read a week. 240 divided by 4 is 60, and I'm going to divide it by 6 instead of 7 because, you know, God rested on the 7th day, so I need rest too. Once you've done that, we get number 10. So you know that every day you need to read 10 pages, which probably takes around 10 to 20 minutes. It's not such a big investment, is it? So the next step would be to establish the time and location that you're going to be reading the book. And this is something I'm referencing from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. And the simple formula would be, I will read a book at brackets time in brackets location. I always read a book before bed, and I try to plan my life in a way that, hey, at 10 o'clock I get into bed and I read a book for 1 hour because 11 o'clock is bedtime. And this step is very important because you are more likely to stick to the habit if beforehand you already tell yourself at what time and what location you are going to be performing this habit. If that's not enough, you can use the concept of habit stacking. So for example, after brackets this current habit, I will do the new habit, in this case, read a book. So for example, every evening that I take a shower, I get into bed and I start reading a book. And the last step would be to design your environment to help you stick to your habit. So I will always keep my e-reader next to my bed, and in such way I know that, hey, that's a book, that's something I enjoy doing, and I'm going to read it at 10 p.m. And let's be honest, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'm not going to read a book at 10 p.m. Maybe I'm super tired, maybe I'm behind my schedule, and maybe I just don't feel like reading a book. It's okay. But what helps me to stick to the habit is eliminate bad habits. So I used to watch tons of Netflix in the evenings, and what helped me was getting rid of my TV. Try to eliminate any bad habit by hiding the queue. So in this Netflix situation, hide your screens. So wrap this whole plan up. We had 5 steps to how to read a book in 30 days. First one is, of course, choose a book. The second one, do the math of the pages. The third, choose time and location. The fourth, do the habit stacking. And the fifth, the last one, would be to design your environment. So, for example, always keep your book on the table at a visible spot. And please subscribe if you enjoy some personal development kind of content that's also related to health. I plan to upload videos every Thursday at 6 p.m. Amsterdam time. So please subscribe below and click the notification bell button so you get notified when my videos air. And of course, that's going to help my channel grow and other people see the content. Thank you so much for tuning back in with me, and I hope to see you next time. Have a beautiful day.